Okay, Coach. Well, the skies are clear. The sun is out, but don't be deceived. There's a big-time nip in the air on this crisp autumn day at Lincoln Financial Field. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Philadelphia Eagles. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
Go. 45. Hey, tighten down. There you go.
Throwing on first is Wentz. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. A bad start there. A big loss on their first play from scrimmage. It's second down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. It's a gain of 7 on the ground, but they'll be faced with 3rd and long.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Little trouble thus far on their opening drive as they come up on a 3rd and 11. From the gun, it's Wentz. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Shaquille Barrett, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game watching this offensive line because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit. Right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10 on their side of midfield at the 47.
Check. 53 Mike. Check. 53 Mike.
Winston. This into the hands of his running back, Ronald Jones. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Here's Ronald Jones, first carry for the USC man. And that play will go nowhere, losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down. The Eagles call on the extra defensive back here as they prepare for a stop on 3rd down.
Hey, watch that. Check Mike 54. Mike 54. They're not ready.
From the gun, Winston. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 36. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. 25 yards that time.
Here we go.
First and 10 at the 37.
They run with Howard. And he'll be taken down at the 33, a pickup of about 4.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
And we got to get to the ball.
Out of the gun, this is Howard. He'll be taken down well behind the line, and I think he might have just given those 4 yards right back. They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play, and it'll be 3rd and 10.
Go. Go.
Shotgun now for Wentz. And that is incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. And I don't think this has the carry. It does not. It's no good, and this will remain a scoreless game. Charles, 54 yards. I'm surprised that came up short.
I would agree with that one because normally, if he misses, it's accuracy, not length, because he has plenty of leg for that. But maybe it's like I hit my golf shot, maybe it's like my wedge.
And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. Ronald Jones, his 3rd touchdown now on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. And his kick is good, but flags come in. Looks like we're going to get a roughing call here on the follow-through. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Wentz going to throw. And the reception made by Alshon Jeffrey. 10 yards there and an Eagle 1st down. Alshon Jeffrey so dangerous even when a defender's near him.
He's got such a big body, ability to run, positions himself well, excellent control. And you're exactly right. Even if people are draped on him, he often comes up with the catch. He really symbolizes what people are looking for in receivers in today's NFL.
And he'll grab a gain of 5 out of this up to the 41-yard line.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Sponge, sponge, sponge. No, no, no.
Now Howard. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down.
Go. 180. Check. Watch 54. Watch 54. Watch the slant. Watch the slant.
Now Wentz on 3rd down. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off right around the 43. And a big return will get him all the way down to the 35. J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, the intended receiver. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away. And that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
Tackle that time by Sidney Jones. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Here's Winston. And that will fall incomplete. Oh, they took a shot there on what will turn out to be the final play of this first quarter. Second quarter now, and it's Buccaneer football. They're staring up at a 3rd and 9 to start it out.
Ready. Black 25. 53. Okay, just like that. Just like that. 5 on the 50. 5 on the 50. 5 on the 50. Here we go.
From the shotgun, it's Winston. That is caught. It's Perriman. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. It's a gain of 11, and the Bucs have a 1st down.
First down, Tampa Bay.
Ready. Black.
Draw play. Winston to Jones. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. So a loss of 5, and it'll be second down.
Normally that's not the down and distance that you call a draw play. You're usually wanting to wait to second or third down with a definite passing situation before that play is dialed up.
Ready? Black, what you got? 54 miles. Don't get nervous.
On second and 15 now. Winston looking for Godwin, and he's got him complete. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. 22 yards there, a first down.
And that was a heck of a shot right there by Jameis Winston. Boy, he has a superior right arm, doesn't he? You saw him play baseball.
Yeah, he's actually a switch hitter in baseball. Outfielder, and then, of course, a very hard-throwing pitcher. That's translated well in the National Football League.
That it has. When he has to make that throw on a line, he's got plenty of arm to do it.
They come out with one back and 3 tight ends.
Oh, yeah, I'm coming. Oh, yeah, I'm coming. Hey, 5 on the 50.
Now Jones. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. Ronald Jones with his second touchdown of the game, 4th of the year, as the Buccaneers tack on to their lead. Solid job up front, really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
That was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run, end result, 6 points.
Touchdown. So after the touchdown, Martin now on to kick this one away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
At their own 26-yard line.
Here we go.
Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Vita Vea breaking through to get the sack.
But that was their 3rd sack of the ball game. 2nd in the league in sacks coming into this one. They're planning on making it a race to the top, aren't they?
Absolutely. They're looking up at that top spot, but they might be looking down at the 2nd spot pretty soon. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Throwing now is Wentz. Is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. Vernon Hargraves with a pick, and they will set up shop in enemy territory at the 42-yard line.
Ready? Black, 25 behind. 54. I got you. I got you. Mike 5-4. Mike 5-4.
Following the interception, Winston. Open man is Howard, the tight end. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Jameis to throw it. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down.
That's right, baby. They don't want it.
Now Winston. He sets up the screen to Jones. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid gain.
50 ready. Blue ready. 53. Got one. I got one. Green, 17.
3rd and long for Winston. He's going to look deep for Perriman. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter, you get point. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Justin Evans. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. He's at it again, Charles. He had the pick 6 last week. Not a pick 6 here, but an interception.
Hey, it's another Oski, because that's the word we use when we intercept a pass. Oski tells your team to rally around and block for you. Well, that worked really well last week because he had made it all the way to the end zone. This week he got the Oski, maybe not a touchdown, but boy, he's playing really well.
Jameis now on 1st down. It's caught by Mike Evans. That's good for a Buccaneer first, a pickup of 12 yards. And he's top 5 in the league in terms of receiving yardage because of plays like that. What have you seen from him on film that you like so much?
Well, I'll strip away everything else and get to what we call the moment of truth. When the ball's arriving and there's a defender there, he just comes down with the ball. He competes and takes it away. Great hands, great ability to finish.
And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. Ronald Jones on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns as the Buccaneers tack on to their lead. He's got the hat trick. 3 touchdowns now.
Did you throw yours? Did you throw yours up?
I didn't have mine. You've got yours. You've got one of those Abe Lincoln hats.
Yeah, and that stovepipe is going right out there for him. A nose for the end zone. 3rd time today. I think he deserves a tip of the cap. Here's Martin now following the score as he'll send this one away. This fielded at the 2. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half. Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Now a throw right side taken in here to start this drive. The 20. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Alshon Jeffrey, 77 yards, as they are now on the board here in the first half. Maybe that is the boost that this offense needed. They've done nothing the entire half, but out of the blue comes this big shot here. You're exactly right. Like a dunk in basketball, like a home run in baseball, maybe a solo shot. Sometimes you need that big play to get things ignited. Bullock good on the extra point, and they'll cut the lead to 21-7. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone. And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. when you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Winston. That's complete to his receiver, Godwin. He'll have a first down past the 40. He gets it across the 50 and down to the 48. 27 yards there, a first down.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you? Oh, a design run for their wideout. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Ready. Black 22. Check, check. Watch 54. Watch 54. Watch the slant. Right there. 54. Right there. Right there. 54.
Winston now from the 50. And the pressure gets there, and Winston goes down. Give the sack to Fletcher Cox.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, their quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
Winston needing a big play after the sack as he leads the Bucs up on 3rd and long. Working out of the gun, Winston. He's going to look deep for Perriman. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
And I feel like my man, Old Mo, momentum might be changing jerseys right now. How about what they just got done? They scored a touchdown their last drive. Now here's a 3 and out. Maybe momentum's getting ready to creep to the other sideline.
This is fielded at the 7. That's a 49-yard punt, 8 though on the return. And the Eagles will be backed up deep to get the drive started as they take over 1st and 10. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. You're under 30 seconds to go. Field position not great. Time to call it a half, wouldn't you say?
Well, you know we all have that little extra gene.
And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line. Carlton Davis speeds in for the sack on the corner blitz. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. They don't want to repeat a first down. They'll keep it on the ground. And some room for him there as he'll take this up to about the 15. 9 yards on the gain there, so from 2nd and 19, now we've got a 3rd and 10. He's got Dallas Goedert, his tight end, over the middle. So we have come to halftime in what's already a 2-touchdown game. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, the Bucs with a lead, and they'll get the football first as the second half is underway. This is taken at his 4.
At their own 32-yard line.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. The loss of 3 on that first down pass play, now 2nd and 13. Now Winston. Space to maneuver at the 40. He finds his target. It's Evans. He gets it across the 50 and down to the 48. Good work after the catch. Going to net him 23 and a first.
When Mike Evans sees man coverage, I don't think he's the only guy who gets excited. I'll guarantee the guy throwing the ball does, because guess what? he's got a lot of options about where to place it because of Mike Evans' size and frame.
Now a first down carry by Jones. He'll get about 4 here, down to the 43-yard line.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
To throw on 2nd and 6, Winston. He completes it to Evans. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Winston now to throw on first down. Well, he's going to let this go for the end. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Jordan Poyer. And he will take it out to the 25-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. They'll begin the drive with Howard. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Levante David in on the tackle.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Set the tone, defense. Let's go.
Here's Wentz to throw. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary, they really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
From the gun on 3rd down, Wentz. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And that's caught inside the 30. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Zach Ertz, his first touchdown on the year, as his guys are back within a single score. That's a score you felt they had to have here in the third quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there was an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
Now after the touchdown, it's Bosher to kick it away. This will be fielded at the 6. Then he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
A big play that time for Tampa Bay. And even 60 yards. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone.
Flip. 53 is the mic. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. Mike, 53. 53. Mike.
To throw, Winston. He's got this one complete to Perriman. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Brings up 2nd and 2 at the 5-yard line.
One receiver to the left is Evans. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch. Good for 8 yards. Winston, a handoff. This is Jones. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And just like that, it's 3rd down. Winston now. Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2-minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
Give the tackle that time to Jordan Whitehead.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Wentz off the fake handoff to Howard. Catch is made by Arcega-Whiteside. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. It's a gain of 16 and an Eagle first down.
That's good for an Eagles first down.
Under a minute to go in this 3rd quarter as they come up 1st and 10.
It's our time.
Wentz now to throw. Open man, Arcega-Whiteside. And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
A gain of 25 more yards. That's another Eagles first down.
So from Buccaneer territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 30-yard line. Now Wentz. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Devin White, the blitz works to perfection as he gets in there to dump him for a loss of 8. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. It's the Eagles behind on the scoreboard, but with the football here as we start the 4th quarter. Gotta imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Wentz going to throw. And he will find his man on the outside. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get at the least a 3-and-out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
Let's go, man.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. The field goal we just saw has us now at a one-score game, and on this side of the football, things are getting pretty tenuous, a little stressful.
Blood pressure up a little bit, you think?
I think up a lot of it.
Could you imagine taking the pulse right now? Might be like a jackhammer out there on that side of the ball, but here's what the deal is. I think what we've observed is a team that's been playing not to lose as opposed to playing to win. And they've got to get back to that, and that means opening things up again, being a little more free in what they're trying to get done on offense.
So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone.
Green, Timothy.
Play fake. Winston. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. Well, once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. To throw is Winston. And that's incomplete. This drive, which was going so smoothly, all of a sudden it's a little bit of a roadblock here with 2 straight incompletions.
Yeah, apparently this defense has had enough. Apparently they're saying no more. We're making a stand right here, right now. But it is 3rd and 10. They've got to get after him one more time.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
On 3rd down, here's Jones. And they'll get to him short of the 1st down at about the 16. They'll get 6 there on the run, but it brings up 4th down.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
And that is no good. He pulled it just a bit, just a wee bit wide left. And this score will stay right where it is. That one hurts a bit. That was a golden opportunity to possibly put this one on ice, but he comes up empty.
And how big of a miss might that turn out to be? Stay tuned. There's still time left on the clock. This could be critical.
Still a 1-score game. Had he hit that, it would have been 2 scores. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Shotgun now for Wentz. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
The Eagles on 3rd down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Now Wentz. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off around the 37. And they will finally put it into the return, but not until he takes it back all the way inside the 10-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
Following the interception, Winston. And with a flag down, he goes down. So they're able to sack him. Now the penalty looks like it could be holding. Let's find out. So they will take the sack instead of the penalty.
And it takes another down off the series. But the biggest one of all, do you want to tell the guy who just got the sack that it no longer counts?
No.
No, not at all.
A crucial penalty there as the hold backs him up for another 2nd and goal.
25, check 25, check 25. Flip it. 53's Mike. Check, 53's Mike. Drop deep. 53's the Mike.
Throwing, Winston. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Sidney Jones. A critical error there in a tight game in the 4th.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the 4th quarter. Turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the 4th quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
And my goodness, another interception. Vernon Hargraves with a pick. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
Watch the run.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Caught by Jones. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. It's a gain of 11, and the Bucs have a 1st down.
Well, how about this aggressive approach? Got the lead, 4th quarter, continuing to throw the football. Are you thinking about Super Bowl 51? Atlanta had the lead against New England, and they ended up giving it up?
I was going to say don't say it, but you did say it.
I did, didn't I?
Yeah, anybody watching in Atlanta, our apologies. On 1st and 10, Winston. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack.
Brandon, more often than not, you'd say they've had his number, and we can count them up so far. 1, 2, 3, 4 sacks given up. But guess what? He's still been able to make some plays, and right now they have a lead.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Jameis to throw it. He sets up the screen to Jones. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
On 3rd down, Winston. And he's got it. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Big hook up there, forced to throw it on 3rd down. The connection's going to keep the drive alive and also keep the clock moving.
Yeah, and from a defensive perspective, didn't get a sack, didn't knock the ball free, didn't break up the pass. The clock keeps running on you. You're in a dire situation now.
4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So it's Buccaneer football as we welcome you back. They've got it 1st and goal as they search for what could be a game-sealing touchdown. Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete. Mike Evans, the one he was looking for. But it'll be 2nd and goal. They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. 1 back in the game, that's Jones, 2nd and goal. They're looking to throw this. Winston. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. O.J. Howard, his 3rd touchdown now on the year as the Buccaneers tack on to their lead. Extra point by Gay is up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So after the touchdown, Martin now on to kick this one away. This fielded at the 2. And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, they'll start this drive at about the 37-yard line. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well. He started out having some troubles back in the first half connecting with his receivers. Really hasn't gotten a whole lot better.
Yeah, he's at less than 50%, and you and I both know that just won't do. So I would think about spreading things out, putting it on the receivers, make them win those one-on-one battles on the perimeter and find their way open.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
To throw his wins. He's going to let it fly. And that is incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Bucs are going to take over with excellent field position to boot.
Ready? Black 22. Check 53. Black. Right here, right here. Easy. Hey. Check 43. Check. Crunch. Crunch. Go.
They'll run on first down. It's Jones. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down. Good gain there on first down, and keeps him in a running situation probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front, good blocking, nice hole for him, ends up picking up nice yardage, stays in bounds to keep the clock rolling. They are in charge of this scenario right now. They want to stay that way.
And not in any rush offensively.
Keep it up, defense. Keep it up, guys.
So fire the cannons. It's a victory here for Tampa Bay. And they were really helped by their defense, forcing 3 turnovers.
I think what we saw in this one, today's defense. And what I mean by that is in the old days, pitching shutouts was